With an account that I don't know nothing about.
First of all, don't come in here yelling at me about no account. I have an account to make sure I'm good. That's why the account is there.
Why are you taking money out of the account while I don't know?
You are my husband. I have to make sure I'm good. I'm not. If we were to ever get divorced, I'm not about to be out here with nothing.
We gotta make sure we good. This don't got nothing to do with you sitting taking money out of the account that I work hard for.
Do you not work for us? Are we not a family? You want? Don't.
This is working for you. This ain't working for us.
No, it is. I have to make sure I'm good. I'm a woman. If you were to leave me, I need to be okay. What is the problem?
You need to be a problem. You're a self.
No, what's wrong with Chris?
Listen, check this out. At the end of the day, you can account for that I ain't already struggling.
I have to make sure I'm good. I can't. I'm not about to argue with you about money.
You are self.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Everything I've done for us. Are you serious? You mad because I'm putting
everything you've done for who? Everything you've done for me. I'm the one working. I'm the one putting in the time.
You cannot be for real right now, Key. Everything I do for us, and you're mad that I put a little money to the side for me?
Everything you do for us. Everything you do for you. Statement. This is just. I'm gonna tell you, man.
What are you gonna do about it?
What am I gonna do about it?
What are you gonna do about it? I don't care about this right now. I'm so serious.
You know what I need to do with you? You know what I need to do with you? I need to account and stop sharing you. Cause that's the reason. That's how you able to go in my. Find my words and take the money.
Do what you gotta do. I don't care about it. I'm so serious. I'm not about to argue with you about no money. I'm not
about no money?
No, I'm not arguing
it's just
with you about
money
no
to you, right? $22,000 is just a little bit of money to you, huh? I gotta go and work for that money. But it's just a little bit to you, huh?
I'm not about to argue with you about it. Like I said, if you were to break up today, then what am I supposed to do? I have to have something.
If we was to break up today, you would be A-okay, my friend, because you stealing money for I don't know how long.
That's not gonna make me okay.
$22,000 not gonna make you okay. Some people don't make that in a whole year at their job.
Well, then they need to get a job. Who can live off of 22? You acting like I stole $100,000. Come on. It's money you've been giving me that I just put a little bit to the side in my own account.
Why have you been taking money from my account and putting it in yours without me knowing? $22,000 is a lot of money to be missing. You live in a nice house. I pay all bills for you. I go to work every day for you, for the family, for the kids.
Don't argue with me about the money when that was our agreement. That was our agreement. Now, you mad about me putting money to the side? I'm not giving it up, so I don't care. What do you want? Like, you can do what you need to do, but I don't care. I'm not. Yes.
Agreement?
Yes.
It was agreement for you to take money out of my account and me not know? When was that agreement made? Because I don't know. I wasn't there.
Ask for the money before I put it in my account.
Is it ours? Yeah, baby. You should be asking.
It's ours.
It's ours when we make something together. That's when something's ours. When two people make something together, then it's theirs. If one person provides the whole situation, it's not an our situation, baby. It's a my situation.
So you're mad
and you
that
stealing from me because I didn't give it to you.
Stealing.
You
share an account, and I made an extra account, and I moved money to my own account, so I would be straight.
You something else.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You something else.
No, I'm not.
So let me ask you a question. If I took $22,000 from you, that'd be okay?
You my husband. Do what you need to do. But no, you wouldn't be taking $22,000.
Of course you saying that when you're not the person working 10, 12 hours at a time. Of course you're not going to say that. Of course you cool with it.
Key, you so mad about this money. What are you going to do about it? I'm not getting...
All praises and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha, Rakah Kodash, double honors unto our apostles and the elders which rule great millstone well. Shalom to the elect, may you endure into the end. Wa Abba Babal. So I just want to point out, all right, brothers, don't give your strength unto the woman. And these women like this are not going to be saved, okay? She may look the part of being somewhat, humble. She might even put on an act to act humble before you. But a woman that's stashing money for herself, all right, is not a woman that's going to be saved, because that's not how it works. All right, so let me get Proverbs 31. And you can see her attitude. She said, what you going to do about it? A woman like that needs her head cracked. All right. Proverbs 31, which this is the Proverbs of King Solomon. And the mother he's talking about is wisdom. The words of King Lemuel, which is King Solomon, the prophecy that his mother taught him, which the wisdom is his mother, which you get that in Wisdom of Solomon. What, my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows? Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. And that woman would be the end of that man. She's the destruction of that man. She's stealing money from the family and putting it in her own selfish account. All right, and she's saying, just in case you divorce me, well, you're not supposed to get nothing. If the man has a purpose of divorcing a woman, she is to leave with nothing, not even the children. But that shows you that we live in a wicked-ass society. All right, this is showing you the wicked rule, because this woman like this, which she's a Jake, right? She's of the nation of Israel, though she is not an Israelite, because she's acting like a heathen woman. She's going to be destroyed in America, whether it's by famine, death, or destruction by the nuclear missiles. All right, this woman is not going to be saved. She could wear a long dress, put on a humble look, but this woman, as she is, she's going to perish unless she repents. And any woman that is like her, that thinks you could stash money and hide money from your husband, that's not what the Lord wants. All right? So you men, which are supposed to be the head of the woman, do not give your strength to a woman. And your strength is you working for her, you supplying everything for her. Right now in this generation, really, you shouldn't do that for women. All right? You should require that those women give you something. All right? And the pussy ain't enough. Especially if the bitch ain't no virgin. All right? If the bitch is all covered in cum, right? Because you got to remember, the DNA of other men are on a woman that sleep with other men. So she's less valuable than a woman that's a virgin. But even if she was a virgin, she must be in full subjection to you. All right? You control the money. You control the rules of the family. You control everything. All aspects of life. If she can't get down with that, then fuck her. Right? Get rid of her. All right? If she can't deal with the way you rule, and you rule in a righteous way, then she's a wicked woman and she don't deserve nothing but death. All right? It tells you that in the Apocrypha, the wickedness of a woman all right. Well, that's loading. I'll go back to the blue letter. Okay. And let's go to Isaiah 4. No, in fact, let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 2. So it says, women instructed. All right. In like manner also, which he was telling the men in the beginning of the chapter how, right, we should be. Look, verse 8. I will therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting. And that's what that woman's doing. She's in doubt, right? So she says, if you divorce me, well, why would he have a reason to divorce you unless you're acting like a ratchet-ass bitch? Right? So she wants to act like a bitch and build her tower of Babel, so she thinks she could escape the judgment of being divorced or abandoned because she's a bitch. See? So these women that are actually going to be saved are not going to be acting like no wicked-ass bitch. In verse 9, in like manner also that women, and we're talking about the Israelite women, the so-called Negro, Latino, and the native women of North America, Central America, South America, and the Caribbeans, right, which been scattered throughout the world in slavery, adorn themselves, make themselves beautiful in modest apparel, with shamefacedness, which this woman's clothing is very tight, right? You can see her outfit is very tight. You don't want your wife out in the public like this. She ain't got no fucking respect for you if she's walking around in the public like this. She would have to cover herself up and not show so much of her body. All right, if she's walking in a modest apparel with shamefacedness, this woman is not shamefaced. She's telling her husband what you gonna do, because she knows if he hits her, right, she could call 911 and put him away, and then all the other shit that comes with that, right? But really, she needs to be put to death, this woman, okay? It says, and sobriety, which I guarantee you this woman is a drunk, right? Probably a drug addict on the weekend, going out, being with her friends, probably committing adultery, all right?
Right now.
It says, not with braided hair, all right, because they're proud, right? Or gold, or pearls, or costly array. So women ain't supposed to be dealing with money, all right? The money belongs to the man. In fact, you're nothing more than property, all right? All right, this is Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 25, verse 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her, which is death. And that's what this woman's going to get, is death. All right? This woman here is going to get a death sentence. She got it coming. All right? This is Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, 36, verse 24. He that getteth a wife begetteth a possession. So a woman is nothing more than a possession. Okay? And if a man chose to give his wife money or not, that's his business. But the women are supposed to be controlling the money. Okay? You're not even really supposed to have women holding money. All right? They're actually supposed to be giving everything over to the man, including their whole sanity, everything. Okay? We are the woman's Lord. Okay? When Abraham had his wife Sarah, she called him Lord. Adam had Eve, she called him Lord. We are the lords of the woman. All right? Women don't have salvation unless through their husband do they. Okay? It says, a help like unto himself. But she's not helping him. She's not putting that money aside to say we're going to, increase or buy a company with that $22,000 she put aside, or something to increase the family, right? Or $22,000, let's go get another wife for you, right? No, she ain't thinking that. She's saying, so I can leave and go be with another man. That's what she's putting that $22,000 on the side for. All right, and she could play it, and that's the thing with women. Women, they'll say it in so many different ways till it sounds right. Okay, they'll look in the mirror and see how they're gonna look when they're doing it at the same time. The women are evil, man, and that's why Satan came through that woman, and fucking caused death on earth because of the envy of the devil, the so-called white man. He uses this woman. He puts the woman over the man. And that women are very, very selfish. All right? When they get money, it's not what they could do for the family. It's what they could do for themselves. That's why a woman ain't supposed to be outside the house working and shit. Because they're unfit for that. All right? They're supposed to be at home taking care of the children, pregnant in the kitchen. All right? With their sister wives, serving faithfully unto their husband. And the husband ain't supposed to be the 20th or the 40th or the 50th man that penetrated them. He's supposed to be the first man. And he ain't supposed to get them when they're old and ratchet. He's supposed to get them when they're young and fresh, when they get their first period. All right? It says, unto himself, a help like unto himself. So the woman is to help the man. The man ain't supposed to help the woman. The woman was created to help the man. And that's why you don't have money, because, you're not supposed to have money because you don't help in it. In fact, you'll fucking make yourself a different place, all comfortable. You'll leave your man. like an idiot. And that's why in the last days, man, these women are going to get such a great judgment because they're wicked. And what they've done to their Lord is hella wicked. It says, and a pillar of rest. But look at that. Is that rest? Is this woman, giving that man any rest? He has to work overtime to produce this money. He even says it in the video. He says, I'd be working 12-hour shifts 7 days a week or 6 days a week. Right? This woman's probably having affairs and everything. I guarantee you she ain't kind to the children with that attitude. Right? So this dude had married a horrible, horrible female. But she's really not even a woman, because a woman is a female servant to a man. All right? When a girl goes to being a woman, it's when she has her period and she was married off by her father unto her husband. And her husband was to rule over her. That's her new daddy. All right? And really, a man, if he had a problem with his wife, he could fucking go upside her head and put her down and literally put her to death. Or he'd divorce her and release her into the wild, which the whole society, which was more righteous in the ancient world, they would reject her. She would have no friends. She would not be able to remarry. It would be a great shame upon her for her to be divorced. So then she would be working harder not to be divorced. She would be serving her husband. And then when she went out, she would go out with nothing. No money, nothing but shame on her name. Right? No kids. She ain't going to get child support. Now, how with that? Because really the children belong to the man. How could the woman be in a possession own anything? See, so really the world's out of order because the wicked are in power. The so-called white man is the red devil the Bible speaks of, and he has deceived Eve. All right? And when I say Eve, I'm talking about the Israelite woman. He's deceived them to think that they're equal to man, or they could be over the man, or do the same things as a man. All right? They try to have all these different, sex partners, and they're out here with hysterectomies because their body was not built for those things. Their body was built for one man to penetrate them, all right, take their hymen, and then impregnate them. But instead, they're out here having abortions. They have, trains ran on them and shit. No wonder all this evil is coming upon them. That's why you can look in the news. I guarantee you, right now, I'll go to the news and something happened to a woman. There's more things happening to women than men because this is the judgment. And I'm talking about the Israelite woman, but it's happening to all women. And those, I could point out these here, this is an abomination. These foolish women out here being lesbian, right? And you got the men doing suit, right? Because they're following the woman. All right? Even this, right? I was watching a news report yesterday, and this is dealing with something else. They said that all these hotels are filled up, which is a lie. For the reason they're saying, because all these airplanes are not taking off. But the women that are being human trafficked, they're in these hotels, right? I seen an article on that. All right. Let's go to the headlines. So there was great violence in Philadelphia to Fort Worth, Texas, right? Because they're going to bring in the UN soldiers, and those UN soldiers are going to rape the women. It tells you that in Zechariah, all right, that these foreign troops, and they're going to come into America as UN soldiers, all right? Zechariah 14, it says, Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, and thy spoils shall be divided in the midst of thee. Because they're going to have martial law, and they're going to send these troops into the houses. And a lot of these women, they got guns, right? They got dogs that have been trained to attack. They have nice layers. They got cars. So these soldiers are going to kick in the doors and spoil their goods, right? It says, "For I will gather all nations, the UN troops, which are operating under America, EU, NATO, against Jerusalem to battle." Jerusalem is pertaining to the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian. "And the city shall be taken," martial law, "and the house is rifled." So they're going to destroy the house. "And the women ravished," right? Let's see if it says raped in any other translation. Right there, NLT. New Living Translation. "I will gather all the nations to fight against Jerusalem. The city will be taken, the house is looted, and the women raped." See, so there's a great judgment. Oh, I gotta think of that. Ezekiel 9 verse 4. It says, "And Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity." So no pity is going to be shown to these women, right? Just like this woman, she wasn't showing no love to her husband. She said, "What you going to do about it?" Right? Because if he freaking hit her, she's going to call 911 and show no mercy, right? So these women ain't going to be showing no mercy. What about the babies they abort? They didn't show no mercy to those babies, right? It says, "Slay utterly old women and young women, both maids and little children, virgins and little children, little girls, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary," which is Israel. "Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house." All right, verse 11, "And behold, the man clothed with linen, which had the inkhorn by his side, reported the matter, saying, I have done as thou hast commanded me." And that's why the prophecies are coming to pass. Because the men that were ordained to be saved are pretty much almost, either sealed all the way, every Israelite, or we're close to that time to where the doors of mercy are going to be shut off. And these women that think they could do this kind of shit, treat their man any kind of way, or be alone, be single, I don't need a man, you bitches got a motherfucking problem coming, all right? You got a motherfucking major problem coming, all right? Because there ain't going to be nobody to save you. Not even the Most High. He's going to have no mercy on you. Especially if you take that implantable microchip. If you take that implantable microchip, all right, you're gonna be destroyed in the lake of fire, which a lot of those women are gonna take the implantable microchip. And I'm talking about the Israelite women. Look at this. The Secret Service substance found at White House was cocaine. It was probably Biden and his son. You know how he's a crackhead. And, they got this movie called Kill the Messenger. I recommend you watch this movie, Kill the Messenger. All right, what it was about was this reporter, he pretty much, through his investigation skills, found out that the White House is the #1 drug dealer in the world. The cartel, they work for the American white government. All right? And this reporter puts it out into the public, and pretty much they kill him. All right, it says journalist Gary Webb, Jeremy Renner, happens upon a story that not only leads to the origins of America's crack epidemic, but also alleges that the CIA was well aware of the dealers who were smuggling cocaine into the U.S. and using the profits to arm Nicaraguan rebels, despite warnings to halt his investigation, which they told him, better knock it off or we're going to kill you. Webb keeps digging and uncovers a conspiracy, which conspiracy just means to breathe together. Pretty much they were together in the plan, with explosive implications as a result of his findings. Weber's career, family, and life come under threat, which he eventually got killed. All right, they killed his family and pretty much broke him off from his family and then killed him. Just like a lion will kill a weak zebra. All right, he cuts him off and then devours him, right? Well, that's how the devil, the so-called white man, he's looking for who he may devour. All right, and he's using drugs, he's using the women, all right, he's using the education, he's using technology, he's using the physician, he's using the politician, he's using everything against the Israelite, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indians. Look, see, the Lord ain't with these female athletes. Look at this. This is from The Hill. Researchers identify first case of CTE found in a female athlete. It says Australian researchers have identified the first case of chronic traumatic and let me just pull it up. I can't say that word. Oh, it doesn't want to.
Encephalopathy. Encephalopathy.
A disease in which the functioning of the brain is affected by some agent or condition. I'll tell you by who. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because he ain't with no woman being an athlete. She's supposed to be holding a baby instead of holding that ball. She should be taking care of her husband next to her sisters instead of being in a sport, It says such as viral infection or toxins in the blood. Who controls these things? Who wounds and heals? All right, it's the Most High. It says in Deuteronomy 32 verse 39, see now that I, even I, am He, and there is no power with me, no other God with Yahweh. He is the supreme God, and Yahweh Shai, the power he has, is from his father Yahweh. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. So who has wounded these women, right, to where they got diseases on them, in their blood, in their brain? It's the Lord. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So there ain't nothing that could deliver these women out of the hand of the Lord that are going to be destroyed. All right? The Lord's going to destroy these women because of their wicked ways, just like this woman. All right? Women like this are not going to be saved. All right? But the women that are going to be saved are going to be the one that are in subjection under their husband. Let's go back to that 1 Timothy. And I'm talking to the men. This truth is for the men. All right, you got to learn how to rule over your home as well as over, being in this truth. You got to learn how to rule, and it begins with yourself and with your family, and your wife and your children. It says in verse 9, in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel. So your woman is not supposed to be sexy in public. With shamefacedness, she's not supposed to be looking at any man in the face. And sobriety. sober, not a drunk whore with multiple baby daddies, not with braided hair, so she's supposed to be humble, not proud, or gold or pearls or costly array. Women ain't supposed to be, all about the Benjamins, baby. All right, they're supposed to be all about their husband, being a help to what he's building, being a help to his children, to his dynasty. It says, but which becometh women professing godliness. And how does a woman profess godliness? With good works, being a good woman to your husband, being a good mother to your children, being a good sister wife to your husband's other women. All right. It says, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. So a woman ain't supposed to be talking to her husband how this woman talked to her husband. What you gonna do about it? All right, because really, this man is out of order. He should fucking be smacking the shit out this bitch. He should be stomping her ass into the ground. But this shows you that the wicked are in power, because if he does that, he will go to jail because she'll call the cops. Or if he killed her, eventually the family will call the cops and he'd be in trouble. This shows you that this is a wicked, wicked society under the Edomite, the red devil, the so-called white man, where women are able to speak and take, things away from their husband. They can speak against their husband like this woman did, and she could steal his money, because she's only a possession. How could she have taken anything from him when he's the man and she's his possession? See? So this place is completely out of order. G5292.
Strong's G 5292. Hupatage.
So it says to be obedience. The act of subjecting. Sub means under. Jecting is according to the law that is the husband's law. Obedience. Right? So the woman is to be in obedience to her husband in silence. It says, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man. What is this woman doing? Usurping authority over the man.
You're yelling at me about no account. I have an account to make sure I'm good. That's why the account is there.
Why are you taking money out of account why I don't know?
You are my husband. I have to make sure I'm good. If we were to ever get divorced, I'm not about to be out here with nothing.
We gotta make sure we good. This don't got no.
So she's not in order. She's out of order. All right? And really, she has a death sentence waiting for her. It says, verse 12, but I suffered not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. And then the way she acted when he went in there to confront her about it, don't be coming in here yelling at me. That's Jake, that's how Jake answered their husband all the time. What? What do you want? Lazy bastards, right? And Jake is you work hard, you give your woman everything you could, but you still being disrespected by the woman. And really, a lot of brothers, you might have a woman that you love, and this includes me too. When I'm talking this truth, I'm not excluding myself. I always talk to myself first. You may love a woman, have a wife and everything, but you don't know what the Lord's plans are. All right, you may think your woman is going to be saved, but the Lord could, take her out, put her to death for all you know, for the sins of her life and of her past lives. All right, so focus on yourself and this truth so that you could better yourself for your brethren's sake. All right, the women are just an added addition, okay, to the kingdom. They're part of us procreating to bring forth more of our sons and daughters. But besides that, women have no authority. It says, for Adam was first formed, then Eve. Right? So there's an order. The man is greater than the woman. And Adam was not deceived. Right? He knew that he was greater than Eve. But the woman being deceived by the so-called white man, the devil, the serpent in the Garden of Eden, was in the transgression, was in the sin. So this man trying to take care of his family. This man trying to take care of his family he's not in transgression, right? But the woman is in transgression because she's deceived. See, she thinks she could do what she wants to do, right? But the man, he's trying to be a man and do his thing, what he was created for, take care of his wife and his kids. But you got a woman like this, you fall in love with, and guess what? She's going to take advantage of you. These are the women that are going to take your kids and get them chipped, or call when we're wanted because of this truth, because we're despised by the other nations. These are the women that are going to turn you in, just like that heathen woman done unto Samson. When the Philistines wanted to know his weakness, these women of the nation of Israel are not of Israel. They're living the life of a heathen. So you can't trust them. All right? Let me get the rest of this here. And I want to get the law before I close out about a woman leaving, how she gets nothing. It says, and Adam was, we got that, verse 15, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. All right? So the only reason why a woman's going to be saved is because she's married to an elect man. Otherwise than that, women don't have really no salvation. All right? Perhaps a daughter to an elect man. All right? But otherwise, some form of that. Family, relative, connection. But otherwise than that, women, they don't have salvation. Their salvation is through the man. And they're trying to come up a different route because the so-called white man said that, there's Jesus Christ is your savior, which is a goddamn lie. All right? And you're gonna learn that by pain. You're gonna learn it by pain. So this is Deuteronomy 24, verse 23. Let's just go into the whole chapter so we get the main point. And I just started at 1. It says, when a man had taken a wife and married her, which is sex, you break her hymen, you take her virginity. That's what marriage was in the old world. Today, you go to the state and get a marriage license, and your woman already been married multiple times, had kids from other husbands. It's defiled land. And it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, some shit like this, right? Where that woman, she ain't got no favor in her husband's eyes no more. He wants to divorce her. It says, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanliness in her. Then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. So kick her ass out. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. But in the ancient world, no man would want to touch her because it'd be an act of adultery. So she would actually become a prostitute majority of the time. And if the later husband hate her and write her a bill of divorcement and giveth it in her hand and sendeth her out of his house, or if the later husband die, which took her to be his wife, her former husband which sent her away may not take her again to be his wife. After that she is defiled. So a woman that has multiple husbands is defiled. For that is abomination before Yahweh. So these women walking around with all these different sperms in her and on her face, with all these different men's babies, they think they're cool. You're an abomination, And really, when you're in this truth, you don't really look at these women like you used to in the world. You might look at a woman in the world and be like, damn, that girl's so pretty, or whatever. You're taken by her beauty. But when you come into the truth and you actually being converted, you're born again, you don't look at women no more like that. You know, like myself, you know, I have a wife, but, you know, of course I have the desire of another woman for another woman, right? But then all these women that I'm going to get are used and abused. And what? She has man sperm in her mouth, on her face, right? All over her body. A man's been... why would I, me, being hopeful and elect, why would I want to waste my time, you know, touching such filth? Right? Why would I want to touch such filth if I'm trying to be clean, spiritually clean? And that shit's on, you know, it says, and your conscience condemns you. You know what I'm saying? So in my conscience, I'd rather not touch these worldly women, right? And have temperance with myself than to deal with all kinds of women and go against my conscience and even cause sin against myself because it vexed me. You know? Fuck these women, man. Now, if you got, you know, you got your wife, don't leave your wife. If she's obedient to you, keep her, man. Who knows? The Lord might have her, you know, give her a new body when He returns. Or, you know, the women is the same. You know, if you got a husband, don't leave your husband if he's, you know, kind to you and good to you. Not kind. When I say kind, I didn't mean like, because nice is not good. I should say mean, because mean is balanced. You know, being fair to your portion. You know, he takes care of you. He's being that part for you. You should not leave your husband. Okay? Even if he's an unbelieving man. Because you are married before the Lord's eye once you have sex with a man. And a man, you know, we could have multiple women. We could even have concubines. All right? But a woman that has had many husbands, they are an abomination. It said, and that's why they didn't like Kevin Samuels, because he was telling them the truth. It says, when a man had taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he had taken. So you got a year just to tear her up. You know, that's really what it is. You got a year just to pretty much, you know, put in that work if there was a war going on, because we are actually reincarnated, right? So our sons, when they're born, will actually come through our sons. That's why the son is more important than the woman. The females don't have sperm. They have an egg. And the egg feeds the sperm, which the sperm is actually where the spirit is within the sperm. When it touches the egg, there's a flash of light, right? Which that's that life being put into that flesh. And then the Lord builds it up, right? Compact with, what is that? It's in Wisdom of Solomon. I believe it's 7. It tells you right here. Right here it says in Wisdom of Solomon 7 verse 3, and when I was born, this is talking about King Solomon, I drew in the common air and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature, and the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. I was nursed in swaddling clothes, and that with cares. For there is no king that had any other beginning of birth. For all men have one entrance into life through the woman. That's what the purpose of a woman is to have sex with her husband and him to plant his sperm into her. That's why he's the husband, to plant into the woman the sperm, and then what comes out? That man's nation. It says, wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. I called upon Yahweh, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. All right? But there was one part, I think it might be a little earlier. There it is, verse 2. It says, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man. So the child is of the same lineage of the father. The mother and the baby's blood does not mix. That's what the whole placenta is. The placenta takes nutrients from the mother's blood, from what she's intaking, food, drink, and feeds it to the baby through the umbilical cord, through that ciphering of the placenta from the mother's blood. The mother and the baby do not share the same blood. All right? It says, and the pleasure that came with sleep, right? Because the baby's sleeping in the mother's womb while he's being woven together by Yahweh Ba'Hasham Yahushai. And that's why these women are able to kill their babies so easily, because they're not connected through blood. All right, maybe if they're of the same nation, but a baby and a mother is not the same blood. All right, only if they're of the same nation. Now, a man could have a child with another nation, which has happened, and that child be of the father's nation, but look like the woman, right? Which we always talk about this. Israel is like a spotted bird. You got Israelites in every nation, which Israelites took the women, put their seed in them, right? And the baby that came out may look like the women of other nations, but that bloodline is still going back to the father, all right? It says in Deuteronomy 24, verse 5, when a man had taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he had taken. So, you get a new wife, you're supposed to, for a year, pretty much impregnate her, all right? It says, let me get the one. Now, all right, it says here, about a man having another woman, just so I could show the law on it. Exodus 21:10, if he take him another wife, her food, her remnant, and her duty of marriage, which is sex, shall he not diminish. All right, so, in the previous years, you were supposed to give her food, remnant, clothing, and sex. And that's what marriage was. All right. It says, and if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money. So if she divorces her husband, right, she was to go out without money, right? So this woman, this whole sit down began with me seeing this video, the way this woman behaved with her husband. It's not okay for her to take that money and put it in a separate account for just in case a rainy day that the husband wants to divorce her. All right? Because she belongs to the husband, and she should behave so the husband doesn't want to put her away. But this shows you that these women, they want to be disobedient, and they prepare to be disobedient. All right? They are wicked beyond your understanding in Babylon. All right? And any woman here in Babylon raised, pretty much are going to have these kind of traits upon them. Because this is what America the whore has produced. Whores. Right? And all they are is opportunistic. All right? But just, and I hope to edify with this video for the brethren's sake. Don't give your strength unto these women. All right, these Babylonian women are going to be destroyed. All praises and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Hasham, Yahushai, Ba'Hasham Ha-Rakah Kodash, double honors unto our apostle elders which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect. May you endure into the end. Shalom wa abba babal.